My name is Ken Thompson. I am a composer, clarinetist, and saxophonist. The album is called Thaw, and it's my first full-length record as a composer. It features Jack Quartet performing my string quartet called Thaw, and also performing with me. I'm playing bass clarinet on a piece called Perpetual.
With Ken, the pieces, it kind of jumped off the page from the beginning. It was really exciting. A lot of virtuosic passage work, and the second movement we're basically playing in unison in octaves for 6 to 7 minutes straight. It's tricky, but it also left us a lot of room for interpretation in terms of how we wanted to do things, and we had a lot of different ideas. The piece itself allowed us to think of many different ways of doing it, and then working with him kind of brought it together.
A lot of times when I'm writing music, I have a certain kernel of an idea that I try to then expand from there. So ideally, in a lot of the pieces that I do, there's one moment where I say, I know what I want this to happen. And that's sort of the first thing that I figure out, and then from there I sort of fill in a lot of the details. So in Thaw, the idea that on the first part, each instrument has a little bit of a solo while the others are playing this really kind of miserable, on the string, dissonant, kind of non-stop background noise, and then having it just this very stubborn kind of idea. Or the second movement where there's like specific teams that sort of join up against each other and then kind of come together with this unison idea at the end. Anyway, this is the idea, is more trying to think for myself, what do I like, or what would make sense to me if I'm listening to music, and what can I do that I would enjoy listening to. It's about, in a way, bringing a listener on a journey that feels like what my journey might be.
I think every composer approaches the string quartet differently. Some are intimidated by it and either never write one or wait until they've been composing for many years before they attempt to write one. It's kind of the weight of Beethoven and Bartók and Carter and all the wonderful string quartets that have been written. I don't really feel that Ken is one of those composers. He seemed like he attacked the string quartet and found his voice in the genre very, very easily.
The good thing about writing for a string quartet in 2013 is that I feel like most of the doors have been blown open, and there's not this sense of, okay, I need to follow in the long lineage of string quartets that have happened before me at all, because anything remotely possible with a quartet has happened. So for me, I don't feel like I need to be worried so much about, am I pushing the form, or am I doing this right, or am I following this lead correctly, or is this sonata form or not, or is this, that I don't need to be following any of those formulations, and then I can actually do something that just sounds like me.
I feel like he escapes the weight of the string quartet because he's not only concerned with the history of string quartet music, he's looking at what music means to him as a whole, and that's so much bigger than just the string quartet. Stylistically, so much doesn't have to be, we talk about notation, it doesn't have to be all there, because you can sort of see what it's getting at. Like, there's one section, I think he described it as being kind of like a U2 song, but better maybe. But it has this kind of big epic, like there's a chord sequence, and it repeats, and as it repeats, it builds and gets more and more intense. And this kind of device is not really a classical device, it's more of a pop music trope. Although maybe that goes back to classical forms too, the chaconne and the passacaglia.
That's such an epic feat.
Yeah, the last movement is really epic, because I guess...
Then my arm falls off when we're done.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're doing the same progression over and over again, and it gets more and more intense. And then in the last couple times through the progression, I add these octave quarter tonal scales.
Yeah.
It's like it's chromatic quarter tones, yeah. and it works so brilliantly. It's like it's just glorious.
Like a quantized glissando.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's like digital.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But it's beautiful, and then it just ends massive and glorious.